Hello, today I'm with Mike Shadowin from the Oak Harbor Development Group, and Mike is the chairman of the Oak Harbor Development Group. And Mike, if you could just tell us a little bit about why the Oak Harbor Community Improvement Group got started.
Thank you, Ann, and I appreciate you being here. So the Oak Harbor Development Group was started by the council, the village council, and the mayor back at that time was Fred Conley. He got a bunch of us as volunteers, citizens, some elected officials and other business owners. Wanted to figure out what does Oak Harbor need to be revitalized and to be improved and to improve our overall community and experience of life here in Oak Harbor. So our job as a volunteer committee put together by, again, the village council and Fred Conley, the mayor at the time, was to take that package of information and then implement those ideas. And so our job was the implementation committee of the revitalization plan for the village of Oak Harbor at that time. As we continued on as a group, we actually became our own 501c3, and we changed our name to the Oak Harbor Development Group. And since then, we have been doing, as volunteers, raising funds and making improvements and following that plan that was set forth back in 2012. And as time goes on, we change it and modify it, and we mold it to the new needs and the new requests from the community.
Can you tell us, Mike, some of the things that you have already accomplished with the group?
We did flower pots throughout Oak Harbor. I think over 40 of those are throughout Oak Harbor, and benches and trash cans to help keep our streets cleaner. Then we've done community banners. Now we have a veteran banner program. And then our first big project was the enhancement to the end of Church Street, which is our observation deck, which was dedicated to the old interurban railway. So it's our interurban observation deck out at the end of Church Street overlooking the Portage River. And then that enhancement then led to the installation of a kayak launch. And that kayak launch then fed a new business that came into town, the Portage River Paddling Company. So that was one of our biggest things that we achieved several years ago.
Yes, and just recently, you have done something in Veterans Park.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the fitness trail that we did at the Veterans Park just recently. We're very proud of this one. This one just got installed, but right here is the Finke Road. This is State Route 163, which is also known as Water Street. This is how you come into our Veterans Park. And then we did a fitness trail all the way around the park and loops around and ends up being 0.6 miles. So that was about $150,000 in a collaborative effort with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, the Village of Oak Harbor, and the Oak Harbor Development Group. And then we have several other organizations that got involved and citizens that donated to the project as well. So there's a lot of community and collaborative effort to make all these projects happen. So the next step to this one will be fitness stations and stretching stations throughout the trail.
Great, thank you, Mike. So what do you see in the future of what your next steps will be?
So there are two primary areas that we are focusing right now. This one right here is, again, the Veterans Park. This is our most popular park. We also have Kramer Park, which we have some ideas there with the log cabin. We also have Flatiron Park, where the gazebo is, and also the a war memorial monument is there that needs improvements as well. So, but right here at Veterans Park, we are really focusing a lot of effort here to again, do the fitness equipment. We're also looking at some swings that will be more inclusive to people with disabilities and all abilities and all ages, ranging from infants to toddlers all the way up to the elderly. Some of the other projects that are we're looking at in the future is maybe lighting the sidewalk that cuts through and connects one community to another through our parks. We're also looking at dugout improvements for all the ball fields. Recently, the village implemented a new volleyball court, so we're pretty excited about that. The tennis courts went away because the high school has fantastic tennis court facilities, so the village decided to transfer theirs into a volleyball court. So now we have 2 sand volleyball courts, which get a lot of use during the summer. And there's a skate park right here that is on the agenda to be addressed because of aging equipment. And then we're also looking at, this is our big sledding hill in the winter, so that's always fun for families. So we're also looking at maybe a small potential ice skating rink and maybe a fire pit in one of these, or in the close proximity. So you can enjoy the fire pit while you're watching your kids sled up and down the, we also have a new group called Friends of the Park. We're always looking for volunteers to help us plant flowers, do the mulching, do the weeding, and just really make the park look as beautiful and aesthetically pleasing as possible. So we're doing a lot of stuff here in the park. One of the other things that we really focus on is the riverfront. And you can see here from this picture, these ideas on the riverfront. This is an old faded drawing back from 1995, which isn't that old, but 26 years ago. This drawing was done, and they had ideas like this many years ago. Over the course of our time since 2012, we brought it back. They kept saying in the surveys, we want more to do, we want our riverfront enhanced. So we had some renderings done, and this is what has been completed at the end of Church Street. There's our observation deck, there's the kayak launch, and the surveys show that we want a boardwalk along the riverfront. We'd love to have an amphitheater with a stage to do choir performances or bands or church services, weddings, shelter house, maybe public restrooms. There are already several businesses with parking opportunities, so we want to make sure we have plenty of parking for the different events that might be there. Now in this display here, we show what maybe the bathrooms could look like here, what the river walk could look like, what a shelter house potentially could look like. Here's what an amphitheater looks like. We also have ideas for different bike trails throughout our community, connecting our high school, our middle school, and our elementary school down to the downtown riverfront and also to our park, which then ultimately we would love to connect all the way to our industrial park, Riverview, and the Ottawa County Fairgrounds as well. And at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds, we are proposing another kayak launch there. So then you can kayak from downtown Oak Harbor and down to the Oak Harbor, or the Ottawa County Fairgrounds as well. This is the old Gourd lumber building, that white section, and this is a rendering of what it could be if it were to be enhanced to maybe a restaurant or a brew pub or riverfront loft apartments. And then they also show an idea of conceptually what some boat dockage could look like. And then here's a gateway coming into Oak Harbor. So the Veterans Bridge is right here from Fremont coming into Oak Harbor. And there's an idea of what a gateway could look like to welcome people into Oak Harbor as they're driving up State Route 19. Here's the white section is the old Gourd lumber building. And that building was actually erected by Washington Gordon, who founded Gordon Lumber here in Oak Harbor. And this was erected in 1900, so that's 121 years old. So it's got some nice history there. But again, the architect shows how that building could be enhanced and improved upon and have riverfront dining and entertainment. So some pretty good opportunities that we believe for downtown Oak Harbor here.
So if someone wanted to get a hold of the Oak Harbor Development Group, how would they do that?
They can actually contact us through the Chamber of Commerce. We're very close, and we do a lot of collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce, and Valerie is the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce. And the phone number there is 419-898-0479. And Valerie can answer any of the questions that anybody might have. Or we also have a list of volunteers. We have a list of different projects that we're doing.
Great. Is there anything else that is in the future that you are planning, or is this your main focus?
Right now, we're spending a lot of time on the park, like we talked about, the fitness trail enhancements and some of those different items. But we are spending a lot of time, especially Mayor Quentin Babcock is spending a lot of time working with the state legislation to try to get funding. We've already been awarded $500,000 to start on the riverfront enhancement here, the boardwalk and the shoreline protection. So that will be starting pretty soon. It's going through the engineering process right now.
Well, thank you, Mike, for coming and sharing the information with us, and thank you for working so hard for our community.
Absolutely, and I love doing it, and we're very excited to see what we're able to achieve together as a community.
Thank you.